Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Sunday, May 19th, 2024, and I'm back here on the Raritan River trying to find some more spring smallmouths. I'm going to start out by throwing around the old Deadly Nedley, and we will see who's hungry. I caught my new PB smallmouth from this stretch a few weeks ago. The chances of that happening again are slim. But they are not none. And that's why we fish. Because once that lure hits the water, anything could happen. Guess he's pissed at me for taking a spot? I don't know. Well, in all likelihood, the spawn is over by now. There could be a few stragglers up on beds, but I think most of the fish have moved away from the spawning grounds and are in deeper water, starting to set up in their summer patterns. And it should start feeling like summer pretty soon. Temps are supposed to be in the 70s and 80s during the day next week. So it won't be long before those fish set up in their summer haunts. There we go, fish on. Little guy, real little guy, wow. All right, well, first fish of the day. Not much to speak of, but the ice is broken and the skunk has been chased away. I'm surprised he was able to get this thing in his mouth. He was only like a couple inches longer than this thing. Oh! Wow, how long was he on for? Oh, he's off. I think that fish was playing with this thing for a while before I felt him on. Oh, geez, there's another one. Didn't even feel him. Okay. Well, nothing but dinks so far. That's all right though. I'm getting bit, so that's a good sign. We'll worry about size later. I just want to establish that there's active fish around and that I'm throwing the right lure for them. Oh, geez, there's another one. I don't know if they're picking it up and swimming right at me. Because, like, I'm not feeling the pickup at all. I'm just trying to work it along and all of a sudden I feel something spongy. And it's one of those guys. Ooh. There we go. I felt that pick up. Another dink though. Where are the big uns at? I know there's big uns in here. I found one when I was here last time. Maybe those bigger fish are in a post-spawn funk. They're not really ready to feed yet. I don't know. It's a little disconcerting hearing the crackle of those power lines overhead. If for whatever reason one of those lines fell into the water, I'd pretty much be dead. So here's hoping that the guys at PSE&G knew what they were doing when they put those in, and that they were built to last. Oh, fish on. That doesn't feel like a dink. Oh, and it came off. The first nice smallie of the day, and it comes off. Dang it. And that's funny. I had just noticed that the hook on this thing was getting dull because I was dragging it across a lot of rocks, so I sharpened it. And that was like the second cast after I sharpened the hook. And the thing still came off. Son of a gun. Well, I said before, anything can happen when you go fishing. Sometimes that anything is not a good thing. Oh, there's another one that came off. Nuts. He hit that on the initial fall. Maybe I didn't sharpen this hook good enough. Alright, so I briefly switched away from the Ned rig. I'm going to try throwing around a wacky rig in this pool, because I know that there sometimes is more than one big fish in here. And maybe they want something that doesn't come crashing down like that Ned rig. Maybe they want something with a more natural fall. Because if they are in a kind of a post-spawn funk, then they wouldn't want anything that makes any aggressive movements. They'd want something that looks as natural as possible. And that's what the wacky rig does. Gives them a natural presentation. Although, I've never seen anything in nature that moves like a wacky rig does. So I don't know what the fish see in this thing. But they see something, because it is one of the top fish catchers among bass fishermen currently. And it has been for quite some time. Alright, so no real action on the wacky rig. I guess these fish might be bottom oriented today. I have seen some crayfish sheds from when they molted, so maybe these fish are focused on tender, soft shell crayfish. And if that's the case, going back to the Ned rig and bouncing it along the bottom, where these fish are already looking, is probably the best bet. Alright, well, nothing further on that Ned rig out of this pool, but before I leave it behind, I wanted to go through it one more time. I'm going to toss around the swim bait just to make sure that these fish aren't also looking for bait fish as well as probably crayfish. The swim bait worked well on the largemouths yesterday, so who knows? Maybe the smallies will like it. Oh, there's a fish. Wow, he hit that close in. Oh, and he came off. All right, well, he went for the swim bait. So maybe there are some fish interested in bait fish right now. I'll give it a few more minutes here. See what happens. Well, nothing further on that swim bait. So I went back to the Ned rig, since that's really the thing I've had the most consistent bites on. And I actually saw a big smallmouth cruising around out here, like a 3 to 4 pounder. So I'm gonna work this hole pretty thoroughly and hope I can get her to bite. There's a fish. That feels like a good one. It is a good one. It's not quite as big as the one I saw cruising, I don't think, but that's a nice fish. Oh, that big one's chasing it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah, that one's much bigger. Wow. Look at that. Look at that fish. I mean, the one I got on is nice, but look at the size of the one chasing it. That is absolutely a monster smallmouth. All right, let me get this guy up here. Oof. Okay, look at that. Well, not nearly as big as that giant, but that's still a nice fish. That's like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. Yeah, man. Good fish. I'll take it. Well, guys, I tried catching that big smallmouth. Worked her for the better part of an hour. And got her to look at the bait a couple times, but she always stayed about 2 or 3 feet back from it. And the more I think about it, that might be the same fish I caught a few weeks ago, because it's about the same size and it's milling around the same area where I caught that fish off the bed last time, which was right about here. So if that's the case, it makes sense that she's not eating because she's been hooked recently. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and bag it at this place and try somewhere else. So sit tight and I will see you in a couple of seconds. All right, everybody, here is spot number 2. This is another one of those out of the way spots that takes a little bit of walking to get to, but it's usually worth it. I've caught some really nice smallmouths out of here. Hopefully there's a few of them around today that want to play ball with the old Ned rig. There we go. Oh, that's a nice fish. He just loaded on. I didn't even feel the bite, really. He just started pulling all of a sudden. Oh, would you look at this? It's a friggin' trout. Look at that. It's a rainbow trout. Or as I've taken to calling them, concrete trout, because that's where they were raised. Not a bad size, though. And he absolutely plastered that Ned rig. Easy, buddy. Oh, okay, he's out. Are you gonna let me grab you here? Or... Look at that. That's a fat rainbow. That's like maybe 1.5 pounds. That's better than average. All right, buddy boy. It's a shame you weren't a smallmouth, but nice fight regardless. Oh, is that a fish? That is a fish. I thought I hooked some weeds. It's not very big. Looks like another smallmouth, though. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just felt the slightest little resistance. I thought I picked up some weeds. And then the weeds started pulling back, and I'm like, what's going on here? There we go, fish on. Feels decent. Looks like a smallmouth. Oh! And it looks like that one just got off. It wasn't too big, it was maybe 12 inches. All right, we got action. That's always good. Oh, there's a largie in there. There we go. That was about the easiest catch I ever had. Nice little largie. He's got, whoa, he's got quite the gash on his tail. Must have been a heron. Maybe an eagle tried to grab him. Oh well. Hope he makes it. All right, well, I worked through this run and I had moderate success with the Ned rig. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work back up through and I'm gonna throw around the Kitech and I'm gonna see if maybe I can't catch a couple of fish that I might have missed. There we go, fish on. I felt him playing with it. It's a rainbow trout, concrete trout. I'll just grab him. I'm surprised he was able to get that thing in his mouth. Easy, buddy boy. All right, back you go. Well, first cast with this thing yields a trout. Hopefully the smallies like it just as much. Fish on. All right, there's a smallmouth. Took that thing deep. Alrighty, another small one. Not getting too many of the bigger ones today, but even the small ones are fun. There's a fish. That was a nice thump. What do we got? This might be another trout. Nope. That is a smallmouth. One of the bigger ones I've hooked today. In fact, I'm gonna net this dude. Come on, buddy. In the net. Yes. All right. There we go. Not a giant, but that's a nice fish to catch. All right, back you go. There's a fish. That felt like a trout hit. And that's exactly what that is. Oh, wait, no, I stand corrected. That is a smallmouth. That felt like a stuttering hit that one of those trout would have given me. But nope, I guess it was this guy just chomping on it. All right, well, I was way off on that one. Well, everybody, I think I am gonna call it quits. I know I've got a little bit of daylight left. I could hit another spot if I wanted to, but quite frankly, I'm pretty tired. So I think this is a good spot to end the day. Another fun day on the river. Didn't whack them, but I did catch a few fish, and I did catch a couple of quality fish. So definitely not going to complain about that. And this is really the first really nice day that we've had in quite a while. So it was definitely nice to be out here and just enjoy the nice spring weather and do what I love to do. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.